What do you get when you cross continental and aer lingus? Cunnilingus.
Okay.
What would you get if General Mills merged with Altalia? Genitalia. That's just to warm you up, okay?
Warm me up.
The wife was at home when the call came from the local brewery. I'm afraid I have some tragic news, ma'am, said the brewery representative. There's been a terrible accident. Your husband is drowned in a vat of beer. Oh my God, gasped the new widow. Did he suffer much? I don't think so, ma'am. He got out to pee 4 times before he finally went under. What do you call a woman who makes beds in no-tell motels? A minute maid.
No.
I should have said a 3-minute maid.
Yeah.
What's the definition of a metallurgist? A man who can tell if a platinum blonde is a virgin metal or a common ore.
No.
Common or that's clever.
Puns.
I love it.
Okay.
What do they give a cannibal who is late for dinner? The cold shoulder. You know, I must tell you, that's horrible to even think about. Oh my goodness. All right, a settler in the Midwest felt he had to protect his family from wild animals and unfriendly Indians, but he also needed to chop wood for their fire. So he bought a large bell and set it up outside, instructing his wife to ring it in case of an emergency. The next day, he was busy chopping wood when he heard the bell ring far in the distance. Terrified, he grabbed his rifle and ran home, only to find his wife standing in the clearing holding a tray. I baked you some cookies, honey, she said. Patiently, he explained that the bell was only for real emergency and went back to chopping wood. Well, just a few days later, the bell rang again and he rushed back, only to be shown a wounded bird his son had brought home. This he made clear a little less patiently, and that this was not his idea of a dangerous emergency. A week later, he rushed home again at the clang of the bell. Reaching the clearing, he found that the house had been felled by a tornado. His wife had been murdered and scalped by Indians, and wildcats were gnawing the bloody remains of his children. Now, he said, that's more like it. Sure, he was a terrible man. Did you hear about the new combination aphrodisiac and laxative? It's called Easy Come, Easy Go. That's like Thinker's joke, but you don't take a sleeping pill and a laxative at the same time.
Yeah.
Deciding it was time for a history review, why not ask the class, who can tell me what historical figure said, I have not yet begun to fight? Well, a little Japanese girl in the front row raised her hand and answered, John Paul Jones. Very good, Mikhail. Now, who can tell me who said, I regret that I have but one life to give for my country? Again, the little Japanese girl was the only one to raise her hand and piped up, that was Nathan Hale. Why not, said to the class, what is going on? So far, Mikhail's the only one to answer any of my questions. Suddenly, a voice was heard from the back of the room. Ah, fuck the Japanese. Who said that? The teacher asked. Mikhail's hand shot up. Lee Iacocca, she said brightly. That's an old one. Remember Lee Iacocca? Oh, yeah. Yeah. What's another name for Jell-O? Kool-Aid with a heart on. Yeah. Okay. Pornographic food jokes. Okay. What do coffins and what do coffins and condoms have in common? Well, they both have stiffs in them, but one's coming and one's going. What did the mad rapist who worked at AT&T say? Reach out and touch someone. Oh, that wouldn't fly today, would it? No. Did you hear about the sailor who got sucked under the dock by a wave? Think about that one for a minute.
I got it.
Okay. Did you hear about the man who went to bed with his sister-in-law? He had it in for his brother. Let's go brotherly love, huh?
Yeah, it's very.
You call 100 singing idiots drinking diet soda and eating fruit.
Vegetarian?
A D&D campaign.
The Mormon Tab and Apple Choir.
Oh, I think I read it.
Remember Tab? That's horrible. I mean, I used to do those bumpers with that stuff. What would you rather be? A light bulb or a bowling ball? Well, I suppose it depends on whether you'd rather be screwed or fingered. Now, once upon a time, an angry mother took her son to the doctor and asked, "Is a 9-year-old boy able to perform an appendectomy?" "Of course not," the doctor said impatiently. The mother turned back to her son and said, "What did I tell you? Now put it back." Two strangers met on a golf course, and the conversation came around to their occupations. The first man said he was in real estate. In fact, he owned a condominium complex that was barely visible way in the distance. The second man said he was a professional assassin, but his new acquaintance was skeptical until the man took some pipes out of his golf bag and assembled them into a rifle. "I'll be damned," said the first guy. "Well, the best part of this rifle is the high-power scope," confided the assassin, handing him the gun. "You're right," said the first man. "I could even see inside my apartment with it." "Hey, wait. Well, there's my wife, and she's in there with another man." Furious, he turned to the assassin and asked how much he charged for his services, to which the reply was, $1,000 a bullet. The man said, "I want to buy 2 bullets. I want you to kill my wife with the first one and blow the guy's balls off with the second." Agreeing to the offer, the assassin looked through his scope and took aim. Then he lifted his head and said, "If you'll hang on a minute, I can save you $1,000. Two cannibals came upon a dead body. In order to make sure that both would get equal portions, the big cannibal said to the little cannibal, "You start at the head and I'll start at the feet." Not much later, the little cannibal looked up and exclaimed, "Man, I'm having a ball." The big cannibal replied, "Slow down, brother. You're going too fast." This one I don't understand. What's the definition of hijacking? A masturbating astronaut. I don't get it.
Way up in the sky. He's high.
Okay, now I get it. Hijacking. The mile high. Okay.
No, that's a Space High Club.
Yeah. All right, it was late at night when a spaceship lands in the middle of nowhere in central Iowa. The Martians, who look kind of like your average gas pump, not exactly, but kind of close, they descended from the ship and began looking for signs of intelligent life. Coming across the road, they follow it until they come across a one-pump, old-fashioned gas station, which looks somewhat like a Martian. Not exactly, but still pretty close. Captain is overjoyed. "This must be what they are seeking." Deciding to make contact, he intones to the pumps, "Greetings. We come from planet Zexbold in search of intelligent beings. Will you take us to your leader?" When there is no response, he repeats his query as loudly as possible, but still no answer. So he turns to his voice translator. Finally, enraged by the lack of a reply, he whips out his phaser gun and points it at the pump. "Why, you insolent son of a whore, take us to your leader or I'll blast you." His lieutenant tries to stop him, but it's too late. The captain fires. An immense explosion hurls the Martians 100 feet in the air. 3 hours later, when they're just starting to come to, the lieutenant helping the captain up to his feet, and in a shaky voice the captain asks, What happened?" The lieutenant replies, "Look, Captain, if I told you once, I told you 100 times. You just don't go messing around with a guy who can wrap his prick twice around his waist and stick it in his ear."
All the way to go with that one.
Oh, this is a good one. What's white and goes up? A retarded liberal. A snowflake, in other words. Wow, what in the hell is that noise? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Somebody's typing like crazy.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, what was that? I don't know. Thank you. Anyway, it cleared out my earwax.
Okay.
During summer vacation, a pharmacist hired a schoolboy to wait on customers, deliver prescriptions, and run errands. But he told the boy never to dispense any medicine or give any medical advice. The boy worked out so well that the pharmacist took to leaving him alone in the store during meal times, and he did this quite often. One evening, the pharmacist returned after a dinner break and asked the boy if there had been any customers. "Only one," said the boy. "A fellow who was sneezing 3 or 4 times a minute. So I had to drink a pint of castor oil." "Oh my God," said the druggist, "where is he?" "Well, that's him standing over in the back of the store. Now he's afraid to sneeze."